The purpose of this video is to show you how you can execute marketing campaigns through a Shopify website and have that marketing data flow back to Odoo so that you can report on it as it relates to your sales. So let's use an example. Let's say that I have a TikTok store and my customers, I'm directing them there. And when they're on that store, they click a link that takes them to another location where they buy my product, whether that's, directly in the TikTok store or my website, it doesn't matter. What you need to be able to do is track the source of where those customers came from. So if they're on TikTok and they click this link, you want to know that these customers came to you through TikTok, right? And they land on your website, they place an order, and then that data, as it relates to that source being TikTok, needs to find its way back into Odoo so that you can run reports and say, well, show me all of the customers that I sold to, how much, what product, where the source in terms of where they came from was TikTok, or the marketing initiative or campaign that this relates to was February 2026, etc. The purposes of this video is to show you how that works. So, right, I have Odoo. I have my Shopify account set up, my integration here, where I'm gonna do some fetching of orders, products, locations, etc. manually, just because that's how this demo is set up. If you look at your scheduled actions in Odoo, you can see your e-commerce shop. Where is it? There is I might to enable debug mode. Yep. Here is these three syncs are set up to run every 60 minutes automatically. But again, for the sake of the demo, I'm just going to execute them in real time manually. So let's also take a look at our Shopify website. So this is my back end. When I go to my storefront, you can see a super simple test website I put together with some products. We have this finished good product here. Let's say that this product is the one that I want to track. I want to send people directly to this page so they can buy it, as an example. Today, here's the URL that Shopify provides for this product. What I want to do is I'm actually going to use Odoo's link tracker functionality, and I'm going to specify this as the target link, right? So what Odoo is going to do is generate a new link for me that tracks additional information or parameters, right? Here are your parameters. I'll talk more about them in a second. That will allow me to have more data to bring down and to track as it relates to these orders. So here I have my campaign. Let's say this is part of my February marketing initiative. My medium is, I can just say direct, and my source is, let's say, TikTok, right? And you can create as many of these as you want. I could say something like Instagram and just create, but we'll just go with TikTok for now, or same with Medium, same thing. I could create my own, or I'll just use one that already exists and save. So what Odoo just did is it created a special link for me that is going to, when I go to this link, watch the URL. It redirects me to this page, but the URL is much more sophisticated. Now I see everything I need to see as it relates to where I want to go on Shopify, but it adds additional parameters like the UTM campaign marketing initiative, UTM sources, TikTok, UTM medium is direct, right? So now when I add this product to cart and I go through my workflow in Shopify, and I'm just going to add some dummy information here. We'll just call this John Jacobs. Oops. Give it an address. And a credit card. And pay now. And when I enter this order, you can see when I go to Shopify and I look at my orders, I have a new order here that just came in at 9:22 a.m., 9:22 a.m. And you can see it's going to John Jacobs, 60 Depew. You'll see UTM source, TikTok, UTM medium direct, UTM campaign, February marketing initiative. And because this information now gets stored here in Shopify, which we did have to make a small customization to Shopify in order for this functionality to work, but because it's now here, when I go back to my account and I sync my orders, you'll see order goes to 2. And when I look at that order for John Jacobs, and you can see all your information here, the finished good, the quantities purchased, the total amount. When you go to other info, you'll see all the data flows directly to these fields too. So now I can go to my orders and I can actually just go to my reporting and sales and I can run reports and say in February, I can see where sales came from through sales and Shopify. Maybe I want to go deeper here and I want to see the campaign that it was associated with. I want to see the source and or maybe I want to see the medium and then the source, right? And you can cut this up however you want to look at it, direct, and then within source here, and I can see here, I can expand on that. There's no data as it relates to those variables here. So I can, again, I don't have a ton of data to play with right now, but you at least get the idea of how you can break all this down. So show me everything, that came from TikTok to Shopify, and I want to see the quantity ordered, how much of that we delivered, and what the total sales volume is in the month of February. And I want to go deeper and I want to drill February down by the days those orders were made. And I also want to manipulate this data. So I'm going to dump it into an Odoo spreadsheet and call it Shopify reporting. And when I do that, you're going to see I'll add it to my sales dashboard. You'll see now I have all my data in a spreadsheet in Odoo, and I can start to use formulas. There's a huge number of formulas that you can use, just like Excel. I can just grab my averages and average sale price. You guys get the idea. And manipulate all this data however I want to. And there's plenty of videos out there that really dive into the reporting functionality, which I'll leave to those videos. But the purpose of this was to show you how that data can move from Odoo to Shopify and back to Odoo. So let's run this back. Let's do link tracker, and let's say I want to have this link also affiliated with a March marketing initiative. And the medium in this case is going to be Google AdWords, and the source will be Google. And save. Now, here's that link. And so let's say I put this link on my, Google account. This is the link affiliated with whatever Google search, etc. When I go to this link, you'll see, look at the params. Your UTM campaign is now March, your source is Google, medium is Google, right? And now when I go and I add this to my checkout, and I'm going to just do this, 29, 1, 2, 3, pay now, that will complete my transaction. When I go into my orders, I have a new one at 9:26 a.m. And when I open that up, I can see all the data is here, Google Ads marketing campaign. And when I go to my orders, you'll see, I need to first sync. That'll change the orders to 3. And when I go to my orders, there's my John Jacobs, and I can see when I go to other info, my campaign, Google AdWords, and Google is now there, which means when I go to report on this data, again, I could have saved that data I just did, but I could do my source as here. Now I can see the quantities ordered, quantity delivered, and the total for Shopify and for TikTok and Google as it all rolls up under Shopify. Or I could just do the source here and see all of my sales in February, and let's say by product, by month. Let's do actually by product, and then drill in. If you want to look by month, actually it's probably better to do by month. And then by product, and maybe I actually want to just do by day and then within the context of each day, isolate those products for me. And you can see all your math here across TikTok and Google. hopefully this gives you the information you're looking for. If you have any additional questions on how this functionality works, I would recommend you contact your account manager. They can provide more information. Thanks so much. Have a great day.